just stayed on live, but I'm going to go ahead and take some questions and answers, guys. If you guys are still in the live, go ahead and ask me questions. That was William Henry for you guys. He is great. Hey guys, I'm back. I just wanted to take some questions really quick. Let me see. It's saying I'm on live once again. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys could hear me, but I am live for some Q&A. Do I have anybody on the chat? Hello. I'm back for some Q&A. That was William Henry for you guys. He has been a proponent of spirituality, ascension, the organic timeline. He's talked about the bifurcation. He's talked about the solar flash in many of his works. And he is totally against AI, which is amazing because, AI is the path of the Antichrist. Now, I want to see if I could... It says I have 15 people watching. "31 people. Welcome. How is everyone doing?" I'm trying to access the new chat here. Let's see. All right, so I am going to go ahead and take some questions and answers now. It's still only 6:50. I think I owe you guys at least 20 minutes of questions and answers. So go ahead and ask me questions. So this is a question from Linda. Linda's asking me, will the number ones going to the fourth? Let me see if I could read it better. Oh, there we go. All right, so she's asking, will the number ones going to the fourth, the first going to the fourth dimension, revert back to H30 when the solar flash takes place, and many more? Yes, because no, I'm sorry. No, not those that are going into the fourth T. My bad. Those that are going to be regressed to looking 30 are those that are going to go into the 50, because that's when you activate the light body, the rainbow body as described by my friend William, which is going to constantly regenerate you. So you won't age, you won't have wrinkles, you're going to be, living for many, many, many years. So people that go, like the earth terms, that go into the fourth D earth, they're not going to be regressed to looking 30. However, they're also going to be healed. And we're going to have the technology to, pretty much have them live a few hundred years more, in other words. So they're going to live for a few hundred years. That's going to be their new lifespan. I got 51 people in the house. I decided to go to get back on here for questions and answers. Lila Hutchins says, "Hi, Ishmael. Hello. I'm back." Good afternoon from Sydney, says Gia. Welcome. Sherry's in the house. McCoy, hello. Hi. Lila says hi. Let's see, who else is in the house? I got 65 people in the house. Chastain Rose is in the house. Are you planning to have others to teach this course or as counselors thereafter? If you're referring to my online course, I'm the only teacher. I'm no longer with the Mystic Arts. I've gone solo. So it's just going to be all my information based of my 20 years of research, all my downloads. You guys are going to get the full cosmic scope of everything, dimensions, chakras, different levels of reality, quantum shifting, galactic history, everything in detail. All right. So it's going to be mind blowing. I do have some spots left for my Monday class at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com, if you guys want to sign up to my course. That starts tomorrow. All right. I do have a new course that begins tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Sorry, Monday. I forget today's Saturday. So I have a new course that begins in 2 days on Monday, Monday the 18th. Let me get my year right. Yes, I did. Monday the 18th. So I'm going to go ahead and just take random questions. I should have just stayed on the live. I don't even know why I shut the live. I always like to answer questions, and I messed up. So here I am on a second live to answer some questions. Okay, so Chastin Rose is saying that the live was great. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that interview was awesome. Oh, you're welcome. PB, what does it say? I didn't get the last part of your name. PB Moreland. Moreland says, yes, that interview was awesome. Alan Parker says, 4D beings do have the ability to regenerate. It is dependent on their vibration. They do, but again, they're not going to live for hundreds of thousands of years or thousands and thousands of years like those in the fifth dimension. All right, but yes, they do have the ability to regenerate because they are going to live for about 600 to 900 years. So that makes sense. However, they're not going to look 30. They're not going to look 30. They're just going to stay the same. So I am excited, guys. I am excited that, I'm getting ready to release The Secret Government, a book that a lot of people have been waiting for. It's only going to be $20, okay? Don't buy the $500 book that others are selling from the past. It's ridiculous, all right? Wait till the second edition comes out, and it's only going to be $20. The Secret Government is almost ready for release. I'm excited about that because for the last month, I've been working my fanny off and trying to reproduce it again. And it's been taking some time, a lot of hard work, but it's almost here. I did a final read-through after editing it through a professional. I did a final final read-through so that I could go ahead and approve its publication. So I'm going to go ahead and just take random questions from this point. I want to welcome all 93 people that are in the house. I had to step out and need to rewatch all of the interviews, says Suzanne S. Well, that's fine. Another live. That's nice. Yes, I'm just going to do some Q&A now for the next 20 minutes. I heard there is a scheduled maintenance on all banks, says Barbara Foster. Tomorrow, wonder if debit or credits will work. Maintenance usually means it won't work. We will see at work tomorrow. Thank you for going live. Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. That was William Henry for you guys, a man that's been researching for many, many years. In fact, he's been doing this. He was one of the pioneers, I would say, about 25 years already, or even 30 now. But yeah, that was William Henry. I'm just going to take some random questions. I have 104 people back on the live. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, and by the way, guys, my transmissions from the Blue Avians was released last night. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch it, but it's really good. It's really good. Go ahead and do that when you guys get a chance. So I'm just going to take as many questions as I can from the top down, because I know there's some people that are saying that I always skip their questions. So I'm going to try to get some of the people that I never get to. Let's see. I have 108 people in the house. Lucky Charm says, I thought I missed it. Ready? What happened was I accidentally scheduled it for 7 when it was supposed to be at 6. But I did save it. So if you guys want to watch my chat with William Henry, it is really, really good. Ishmael, new to channel. What's the best way? Welcome, Stephanie Panzini. Welcome, Stephanie Panzini. She is in the house. So she is asking, what's the best way to meditate and connect with higher self? There are so many methods, guys. The best way to do it, though, is by willing it, by learning how to quiet your mind, by getting into that state of mind where they call the no mind. The more you are able to quiet and silence your mind, the easier it's going to be for your higher self to come through and transmit or communicate with you. So you first have to learn how to master your consciousness, your concentration abilities. One of the ways that I teach people in my course how to master their abilities, before I teach them my 2 techniques, by the way, that I will be teaching at the end of the 4th course, how to become multidimensional, how to connect with your galactic self. Before I even teach them the methods, what I do is I first teach them the apple method. You think of an apple, you put the focus of the apple in the middle of your eyes with your eyes closed, or you could do a lamp, not a lamp, a candle with the burning fire, and you just see it in the middle of the eye, whether it's a candle or the flame of a candle or an apple. What you do is you just hold it. You hold it for about a minute. Most people lose the image, right? Because they don't have concentrating abilities. Thoughts come in. They start thinking about what they could have done earlier. They start worrying about, what they have to do tomorrow. Chances are is if you can't hold the image for a minute, you need to practice that technique until you're able to hold the image for 2 minutes. Once you master holding the image for 2 minutes without having any other thoughts intruding or without losing the image, then, my friend, you're ready to master meditation. But first, you have to master your mind. You have to learn how to concentrate. It took me many years to learn that. I have ADHD. I'm mentally scattered as a kid throughout my adult years, but I learned how to, pinpoint that focus. So you have to just learn how to pinpoint the focus. Welcome to my channel for those that are new. Yes, I've already interviewed William Henry. He came in at 6. I know I had scheduled it for 7. I apologize for that. Yes, I will invite him again, guys. I will invite him again. This time I'm going to invite him for a full, hour or hour and 30 minutes. So that way we can answer some of your questions, or I could have him answer some of your questions. But he is my buddy. We did keep in contact via cell phone ever since we were on the AI panel at the Disclosure Fest last November. So I will definitely have him back. That's for sure. Hopeful Hope says background music was too loud. I am sorry for that. Next time I'll make sure that when I receive a transmission, I put the music a little lower than my voice. I apologize, but I did turn on the captions. So if you guys want to read the captions, if the audio is too bad or too loud, please rewatch it again and read the captions so that you guys can get the clear message. So the captions is on for me for my Blue Avian transmissions. Well, this is an interesting and provocative question from Miss Brooke. Miss Brooke is saying, have you heard that Milana is really Princess Diana disguised? Is that true? I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, Brooke, I've never heard of that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So Angelina Stars is asking me, is this amazing life you speak of will happen in our lifetime? I am 44 years old. Absolutely, yes, because the current reality construct that was imposed by the ancient AI through Enki and the Anunnaki is coming to an end by no later than 2030. So yes, it's definitely going to happen within our lifetime. Yes, this is well, actually, technically my third. I did a surprise interview this morning where I was able to downstream or double stream on my platform with missing links. If you guys haven't watched it, please do. I talked a little bit about my journey as a kid, how my struggles as a teenager, and so on and so forth. So yeah, go ahead and watch that if you guys get a chance. So this is actually my third live. I accidentally ended the live with William Henry. I should have just stayed on to answer some questions, but I decided to go live to answer some questions. So this is my third time going live today. Thank you. Shakina Glory 1111 is saying that hi Ishmael and Chastine Rose. Super chat with Henry William was great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking for questions. Okay, this is a question from Chastine Rose. She says, do you think we should stay home for the solar eclipse and ground or travel? I would stay home and ground. In fact, I would actually go to nature, spend a time at the park, go to the mountain, go to the ocean, the river, the lake. Just go wherever there's nature and really ground that energy. Joseph Martin is asking Ashtar Command updates. Well, you mean Galactic Alliance updates. Okay, well, right now everything is running smooth. The Galactics are not really, other than my transmissions from the Blue Avians, there's not really much coming in right now. Well, okay, let me just rephrase this. Some of the stuff that I've been getting, I'm actually writing it in my next book to come, but that's not going to be for a while. But that goes more into like things that things that happened in the cosmos billions of years ago, and also future timelines, things, events that are going to be positive events. All right, positive events that are going to be taking place in the future as well. However, if you take my course, you do get a lot of that information in my course. It's 2 hours a week. I have a new class starting Monday at 10 and Monday at 3 p.m. For those that haven't had a chance to sign up, or those that missed it last week, because I'm only taking 10 people at a time now. I'm no longer doing $80, $100 people, or 80 or 100 people per class anymore. That's not fair for you guys. You guys, at least within 10 people, you guys get my undivided attention, and we really just connect, and we get to talk on Zoom, Q&A and everything. So it's more intimate. I want to welcome 192 people that are in the house. I guess nobody really knew I was coming online right now. It's okay. I'm here just to answer questions now. All right, so Truth Seeker Forever is saying there is a thing such as a fantasia. Look into it. I personally believe it's some type of an implant. Aphantasia. I'll look into it, Truth Seeker. I'll look into it. PB Moreland is saying lived the music, very moving. You must be referring to the music in the Blue Avian transmission, correct? Yes, that was beautiful. Cosmic sounds. I loved it. All right, Cosmic Goddess is asking me to do a live on the eclipse, when the eclipse takes place. Sure, why not? Maybe we could even do a group meditation. How does that sound, guys? That's an idea. I'm throwing it out there. Group meditation when the eclipse happens, right, on that very day. I'm going to find out exactly when it's the total eclipse, so that way we could do the meditation at exactly that time. That's a great idea, Cosmic Goddess. Thank you for pointing it out. Yeah, but I wouldn't be going anywhere. I would just try to ground the energy, because it's going to be pretty chaotic if you're not grounding it. Joseph is asking, where is everyone? Well, I didn't announce that I was going to be going live for Q&A. So I'm just answering questions. Whoever is here is here. Whoever isn't, they'll see it on the replay. But for now, I'm going to take your questions for those that are here. Brooke, you're welcome. She says, thank you for answering. All right. In response to the question, if whether or not Princess, Melania is Princess Diana in disguise, somebody's saying that she's seen her on her Telegram channel and looks nothing like Melania. The question earlier, for those that are new, somebody asked if Melania, 45's wife, Melania, if she was Princess Diana in disguise. That is a very interesting concept. I've never even heard of it, but it could be possible. Galactic Angel says, my birthday is on the eclipse. Wow, we're going to have a birthday girl on the eclipse. That's awesome. Yes, please put your questions in uppercase. Thank you so much for reminding us, Chastine Rose says. All right, so this is a interesting question from Anne Zanvillet. Anne Zanvillet. She says, are there any snakes and insects in 5D? I would say Excuse me. I would say they are, but they are friendly. They're non-poisonous. They're friendly. They're benign. They're positive, and they don't harm you. They're actually very gentle. Because everything that exists in the 3D will, as far as animals and insects are concerned, will also reflect in the 5D, but they're going to be good. They're going to be gentle, no poison, no, they're not going to be like the insects we know in the 3D, in other words. Stefan Panzini says, saw you earlier on Missing Links. Yes, that was a surprise. I was double streaming. I just thought I was just going to be on his platform, but he asked me if I could double stream, and I said, sure, why not? Let's give this interview to the Galactic Jedis as well. I appreciate every single one of you guys, by the way. So I'm back for Q&A. I'm back for Q&A. Barbara Foster is asking me if I get recognized in any stores that I go in. I think that's only happened once. And that was from, they recognized me from Instagram. They followed me on Instagram, and that's it. But no, I don't really. Oh, I'm sorry. One time I was at the mall. I was there to eat at a restaurant, but I was walking through Nordstrom to get to a particular restaurant where I wanted to eat some food. And a lady came up to me and said, "Are you Ismael Perez?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh my God, I have your book. I love it. Thank you so much for writing it. I appreciate you. I thank you for your work." And she gave me a big old hug, and I went on to go eat after that. But yeah, that's only happened twice. So in my town, I don't think there's a lot of galactic Jedis out here where I live. I think most of you guys are just spread out everywhere everywhere in the cosmos. I was going to say, no, everywhere on the planet. Lee Star saying, thank you, Ishmael. You're welcome. Thank you for all your life, says Hopeful Hope. You're welcome. Radiant Guardians is in the house. Who else is in the house? Kathy Kurg is in the house. Barbara Foster, Cosmo Girl, Chastine Rose, Lee Star. Joanne is in the house. Baja Girl's in the house. Joseph Martin, Kim Thompson. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep looking for questions. It's okay. Simone says, oh, no, I missed the live with William Henry. Well, you could always catch it on the replay. This is a question from Mary Price. Ishmael, do you think Americans might need to prepare for vigilantism to protect ourselves from those coming across the border? It is my understanding that the Y Hats are going to implement EBS and not only conduct mass arrest of all the bad guys, but also send back all the vigilantes and terrorists that have come into the States. It is my belief. So we do have to stay home when this happens, of course. Keep your doors locked when the EBS is announced. But as far as us protecting ourselves as we are out and about, it's always good to be just aware and conscientious. What's the word I'm looking for? Mindful of your surroundings. It's always good to be aware and be mindful of your surroundings everywhere you go. Yes. But I do believe that the Whiteheads do have a plan on re-exiting these people right out of our country, to answer your question. Thank you for the heart, sunshine. Thank you. And we will see you in class Wednesday, right? Wednesday, you're in the 10 o'clock class. So that's going to be your second class. The second class. First class, for those that took it for my first class, was last Wednesday. But I just opened up second class this coming Monday, 2 days from now. Make sure you guys sign up. It is tons of information. And I encourage you to take notes. Okay, Cosmogirl is saying that Texas is putting out news flashes about the eclipse, advising to stay home. Thank you for letting us know, Cosmogirl. This is a good question from Eagle Warrior. Will the continents move back to their original place in 5D? That is a very good question. I would say yes. Here's another question from Linda House. There we go. I'll just put the questions on the thing here since I am using Restream today. She's saying, Ishmael, my son and I are so frustrated. Will we be going to the 50 dimension or does that hinder our ascension? It's okay to have frustrations, guys. It's okay to have anxiety sometimes and stress. It's part of being a human. Your frequency will determine your vibe where you end up in. And from what I understand is that if you are a volunteer from the higher dimensions, you will automatically go back to the higher dimensions because that is your original state of vibration. So even if you get frustrated, it's not going to impede your ascension. But it is important to try to control our feelings, yes, and how we feel and think, especially negative ones. You know, I guess this is the universe's way of testing you and really just making sure that you know how to that you are in a position to control your feelings at all times. So take this as an educational learning experience. Whenever you guys feel frustrated, the best thing to do, or stress, or something comes up and you guys are just agitated, take yourself out of your mindset and see yourself from an outside source. Like, observe yourself and see, why am I allowing this to take place? Why am I allowing this circumstance to bring my energy down? So if you see it from your higher self's perspective, you will eventually overcome and transmute the negative emotion. All right, so Baja Girl 1302 also responded to Linda's concern about her ascension if she gets frustrated. And she agrees with me. She says, I would not think that your ascension will be hindered at all if that's the case. Hardly anyone would ascend, including myself. Exactly. Even I have moments, guys, where, certain things agitate me and I get frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated. But the concern is, are you going to let that frustration, continue all day long or perhaps into the next day or into the next week? No. We feel it, we analyze it, and then we transmute it and we transmute it. And that's how, by the way, that's how we grow spiritually. That's how we grow spiritually. That's part of the inner journey. That's part of the personal ascension, is learning how to transmute negative feelings. So, yes, I will be doing a group meditation on the eclipse on the day that the solar eclipse is going to take place, preferably at the peak of the solar eclipse. So, I'm going to go ahead and find out exactly when we are expecting the peak, and then I'm going to go ahead and schedule a mass meditation here on my YouTube channel. And by the way, guys, if you guys didn't know, I do have an open forum in my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. So check out my website. I am going to be interacting now on a daily basis with the Galactic Jedis that are using my forum. It's a free forum. We get to interact and speak among each others. That's also something I would like to do, is in case something happens with YouTube or other social media platforms, I want to make sure that we're still there in my website so that we can all stay connected. This is interesting from Shakina Glory. She's saying, Ishmael, just heard from astrophysicer Dieter Browers that a big object was photographed at the sun. That's interesting. Well, I tell you guys this. Whatever is, if that's the case, if something is coming into our solar system, it is of the light. Because at this point, just like how the blue avians related to me, that they have sealed off the gates. They have sealed off our solar system from any unwanted invaders. Again, my transmissions from the blue avians is out. It was out last night. If you guys haven't seen it, please do. All right, so Joanne is saying that the eclipse is probably going to be about 10 or 11 a.m. our time. Then if that's the case, we're going to do a morning meditation. All right, so it's official. Group meditation on Monday, on the day of the eclipse, on the 8th of April, coming up in a few weeks. Okay, this is a question from Brooke. I'm going to go ahead and just pop it here. Since I'm using Restream, I might as well take advantage of how you're able to put the questions here for everyone to see. This is from Brooke. Do you think it's true the royal family has been taken out by white hats? Yes, I've been talking about that on my Monday night white hat update reports, how the royal families are taken out. So yes, it's absolutely correct. I would suggest Sunshine or Brooke to go back and watch my last two Monday nights white hat report lives. And I go into detail there about that. I'm going to go ahead and take another question. Try this question. All right. Princess Kate has been, I'm not going to say Murder. I'm sure you guys could see it. In a sacrifice, according to Martin Brodell. Yes. I didn't want to say that, but yes. Yes, that is correct. You know, there are certain things that I don't like to share on my YouTube channel, but yes, that is correct. That's all. So whoever could see this this question that I put here on my YouTube, that is absolutely correct. Mountain spring water. Best water out there. And now I'm going to infuse it with hydrogen. But yes, that is correct. So the Kate that we see nowadays is an imposter. It is not the real Kate. Oh, this is a good one. She's asking, why are millionaires and billionaires, why are they building bunkers in Hawaii? Because they think that they're going to escape the great solar flash, but they're not. The solar flash is going to penetrate into the earth. So, yeah, because they know that the fact that they're not vibrating with the new frequencies of love, compassion, acceptance, tolerance, forgiveness, they're going to be, taken out. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to have an internal combustion, right? They're going to be evaporating. So of course they're going to try to go into the underground, the inner earth, to try to escape the transmutation, right? But they're not. They're not going to, flee. They're not going to escape. The day of retribution is here for the wicked. That's all I'm going to say. All right, this is another good one from. This is a question coming from Gallum Crow. She's saying, I had 4 miscarriages. Will I be able to see him again? And the answer to that is yes. Yes. You will be seeing them again in the new earth. Absolutely. This is a good question from Lee Star. She says, what is the truth about St. Patrick's Day? Well, one of the things that I talk about in my upcoming book, The Secret Government, is how there was a real St. Patrick that liberated the Irish, who was then killed by the cabal during those days in the 1600s. So St. Patrick was a person who was a freedom fighter from Ireland. He opposed the tyranny, the oligarchy, the ultramontane system of the corrupt Vatican, and the monarchies, the oligarchs of Europe. So he was a freedom fighter, and so he was also a martyr. As a result of that, he was taken out, okay, by the cabal back then in the 1600s. And so we now celebrate St. Patrick's Day, because of that. Now, as far as connecting it to the luck of the Irish, the little green thing, right? The little green, what is it called? I can't think of the name. The little green plant, right? The little green. I can't think of the name, guys. That it looks like a green plant. I don't know its connections to that, but I do know that there was an actual figure by the name of St. Patrick who wanted to liberate the Irish back in the 1600s and was assassinated by the cabal. Clove. I think it's called the little green clove. That's the word I was looking for. Clove. Somebody just said, let me see. Where is that question? I was looking for a good question. I just can't find it. I lost it. All right, I'll just keep going. I want to welcome all 321 people in the house. I didn't advertise this at all. I'm just coming on here for Q&A. I did have a wonderful chat with William Henry prior to this, so if you guys want to watch that on the replay, please do. Well, this is a good question from Jacob Campbell. Are any wizards white hats? Yes, yes. At the highest level of the White Hat Earth Alliance network, we have the Council of Wizards. I've talked about this in many interviews. I talked about this in my Monday night White Hat update reports. And I also talk about this in my upcoming book, The Secret Government. So yes, at the highest levels, we have white wizards. Because, it's a polarity, right? The Cabal has their sorcerers, their warlocks, right? They're negative wizards, so we also have them as well. But ours are like Gandalf. They're of the light. They're more like it's a war of magic. It's a war. It's an interdimensional warfare between the Council of Wizards and the sorcerers that have been overseeing the masters, you could say, of the Cabal. So Project Skyfalls is asking me, what? Oh no, that's the wrong one. The message that the Blue Avians wanted us to know. Well, you have to watch it. It's published. I uploaded it last night, so there is tons of information they wanted us to know. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Whoa. Oh my God, allergies are kicking in. Okay, so this is a question from Michael B. Buddha Mike is here. Greetings to all Buddhas on. Okay, that was not a question. That was a statement. Oh, this is a good one. Trump has said he may invoke the National Guard to help raid off some illegal immigrants, troublemakers, and bad guys. Yes, that is correct. Like I said, that ties in very well with the idea that the White Hats are going to clean house pretty soon. Thank you for sharing that, Jimmy. My sister Sunshine, always blessing me. Thank you so much, sister. Your question is, are there tiers past 5D? Tears, as in like human tears, like when we cry? And the answer to that, if that's what it is, no, we don't cry in 5D. And then she also asks, do warrior angels cry? Do warrior angels cry? I don't know if it's crying the way we cry with tears, but there is a saying that angels do weep, but they don't shed. It's a different type of weep. It's them just feeling, as empaths, right? Because they feel our pain. But then again, they're future version of us. God, you're really making me think right now. I would say no. Angels don't cry. No, because they're future versions of us. And then the third part of your question is, yes, I wrote 6 pages from your first class. Good stuff. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're taking notes. A lot of information was covered there. And a lot more is coming for class 2, 3, and 4. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just take this question because I think this is a common question that most people have. Ishmael, could we end up losing our current pets if they don't go to the same dimensions? What would happen to them? I believe that all animals are going to be automatically ascending, but that's my personal belief. All right, this is a good one from our sister Simone. Simone has Ishmael, I had a vision of a tree of life inside of a crystal pyramid on a stone table with pillars inside a temple in Israel. I am not familiar with any biblical scripture. What is your input, please? So you saw a vision of the tree of life inside of a crystal pyramid on a stone table with pillars. Well, we do know that the pyramid was a huge, gigantic battery, right, that harnessed cosmic energy in Egypt, in Atlantean times and ancient times. We also know that crystals represent our immortality, right, our fluidity, connecting back to spirit and source. The two pillars represent wisdom, divinity, and authority. So when you combine all of that together, right, wisdom, divinity, authority, connecting back to life force, the tree of life, which means immortality. That was a metaphor. Indicating that our immortality is at hand, that our time to transform into immortals is almost here. That's what I'm getting at. This is very, very true, guys. And this is very important. All right. We have to be mindful of this. That all of our this is coming from Christina Peterson. Christina Peterson is saying that all of our shadow stuff is coming up now. So send love and healing to it. Any negative stuff, then release it and you can forgive yourself too. I totally agree with that. This is interesting. This is from Lorraine. Lorraine Kumo. She's asking me. Lorraine Kumo, exactly right, Ishmael. Everything now is of the light. Is the eclipse time universal time? I would say yes. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing it out. See, you guys are also very tuned in. You guys are also wise, ancient souls here. It is an honor to have the best of the best here. The tribe has gathered. All right, this is a good one. So this is from Rainbow. Rainbow is asking, what about other royal families in Europe? Well, if they are of the Draco-Reptilian hybrid bloodline, they're all going to be taken out. Unless, of course, they decided to join the light, right? In defiance to their genetic program. However, there are different types of royals out there who are not in positions of power, who are not living wealthy, who don't wake up to a silver spoon in their hand. And those are people that come from the original 12 tribes of Israel, which are a planetary representation of the original 12 races of Lyra back on the earth. Could be any of you. Remember, guys, we are also royal, right? We are, in fact, more royal than the old one, the old guard, the Cabal royals. We are more royal than they ever will be. Just remember that. All right, so this is a good one. This is coming from Jimmy W. He says, Joanna, oops, not sure if it was you. Someone asked if blue avians and Lyrans came together to create another hybrid. I would say it wasn't the blue avians and the Lyrans who created another hybrid. It was actually the blue azurites. The blue azurites are a totally different race. They come from Harmonic Universe 4, or what I call in my class, the Central Universe of Havana. The Central Universe of Havana. Take my class, guys. We're going to go deep. Every universe has a name. The super universe has a name. The cosmic sectors, the cosmic minor sectors, constellations, systems, planetary spheres. It's all named. Everything has a name. Yes, the bunker builders, these families know exactly that we're going to be experiencing a solar flash. Absolutely. All right. But they see it as a Carrington event. They see it as this thing is going to wipe out everything on the surface. So we have to go in the underground to preserve ourselves. Little do they know the spiritual ramifications of the DNA activation that's going to take place when the sun releases its final blast. Just looking for questions, as I am also reading your chat. Truth Seeker said her super chat disappeared. Well, I have no control over that. Transdimensional is asking me, what are your thoughts on psychedelics? What are your thoughts on psychedelics for emotional healing and tapping into higher dimensions? I think that as long as you use it for that particular reason and nothing else, and you don't use them because you're addicted or you become addicted to them, then I'd say yes, it will help you in the healing journey and to connect multidimensionally. But don't use it as a crutch. Eventually learn how to connect, how to also conduct your own healing without any mind-altering substances. Yes, the lucky charm, the four-leaf clover. That's what I was referring to when we were talking about St. Patrick and the significance of St. Patrick's Day. Oh, Truth Seeker, I found your super chat. Here it is. Oh, okay. You're no question. Just thank you so much for the super chat, sister. Dog wants in. Not my dog. That's the neighbor's dog is barking. My dog is probably taking a nap. No, I never allow my dog to go out there by herself, guys. No. When I walk my dog, I put her on a leash. in order to control her, right? Or in case other dogs are trying to, get close to her, I want to make sure I'm in control of her. I never let my dog loose. She is a pit bull. I don't want to scare people, even though she's as nice as she's got the heart of a rabbit. No, that wasn't Athena barking at the door. That was our neighbor. My neighbor's dogs, they're always barking. Athena's back in the room, taking a nap. Speaking about Athena, I think it's time for her walk. I walked her at 4 o'clock. That was 3.5, almost 4 hours ago. So I think she's due for another walk. All right, guys. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch my conversation with William Henry, it's uploaded. Go ahead and watch it. I know I posted it at 7. I went live at 6. So now I'm back for Q&A. And if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the Blue Avian transmission, it was uploaded last night. Go ahead and watch it. And with that in mind, for those that are interested in my Monday course, that's a new class. I still have some spots available. Go under our cosmicorigin.com and reserve your spot for Monday morning at 10 or for Monday afternoon at 3. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am wearing my own shirt. Our Cosmic Origin book shirt. If you guys want to support my cause, I do offer these shirts in my website, our cosmicorigin.com. It will help to support my cause so that I could continue, on this path of sharing information with all of you guys. May the God Force be with you, and I will see you guys Monday night for the Y-Hat update report. We'll see you guys Monday night at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. Bye.